Yo, what's going on, guys? Anthony here, and in this video, I'm going to be breaking down why you need to be using cost caps in your dropshipping business if you're actually interested in making any money with dropshipping. And one of our students recently, his name is Riv, scaled to $5,000 a day exclusively on cost caps and profited $1,600 from his store. And literally 12 days ago, this guy was testing products, asking questions about, testing a product on day 1, 2, and 3, and then fast forward 12 days later, he's at $5,000 in a single day right here. And this is pretty recent too. So I'm recording this on the 20th of October, and he posted this result yesterday. So it's not just him, by the way. I am also using this in my accounts, and this is a campaign for a brand new product. Yes, the Road to 100K series is coming back. I know you guys have missed that one, but I am bringing that series back, and as you can see, I'm off to a really good start. I've spent $350 on this particular product, $865 back in conversion value at a 2.46 on a completely brand new product, and I have lost zero money in the testing process, and I'm now primed for scale. So I'm going to be breaking down exactly how cost caps work and why you need to be using them. Because once you understand what they enable you to do, you'll realize that it's literally the perfect fit for a dropshipper, and you will instantly convert to using them. So let's break it down really quick. And I'm going to try and keep this video very, very short because I have a tendency to ramble. And I want you to understand this in as quick as possible. Because again, once you get it, you will understand it. And once you understand it, you'll not see any other way you should be running your campaigns, and your wallet's going to thank me for it. So if you guys don't know, this is how the meta auction actually works. So these ad platforms are an auction system, right? All of the advertisers are bidding against each other for the attention of the user base, because ultimately people, you've probably heard the phrase, people don't go on Facebook or TikTok to buy. And that's correct. They go on there to use the platform, catch up on friends, watch memes, whatever the case may be. And so putting your ads in front of that and in front of those users comes at a cost. And Meta always wants to make sure that if it's going to put a piece of content in the form of an ad in front of its user, that it has to be a piece of content that is valuable and that keeps the user engaged on the platform and provides a positive user experience. And so there's really three main factors that equate to the total value, and every ad is assigned a total value in the ad auction, and whichever ad has the highest total value is the one that wins the auction. And so there's three components to the auction. We have the bid, we have our estimated action rates, and we have our ad quality, and these three things combined equate to the total value, and whoever has the total value wins. Now, the bid is the only thing that you can actually manipulate and control. Some would argue that estimated action rates, right? And the estimated action rate is measured by your CTR and your CVR. So your click-through rate on your creatives and your conversion rate on your creatives. And then ad quality is kind of this black box metric that Meta is using basically to describe whether or not your ad is providing an optimal consumer experience, right? Is it a high quality ad? Does it get good engagement? Are people, commenting on the creative, whatever the case may be? And these two things, while you can improve your conversion rate on site and you can improve your click-through rate and make better ads, there's really no tangible way in the ad account to actually increase these things so you can increase your total value and win more auctions. The only thing that you actually can increase, however, is your advertiser bid. This is something that you can directly control and inflate to influence your overall total value and to control which auctions you enter. So in the default bidding strategy, let's get rid of all these. In the default bidding strategy, right, we tell Meta lowest cost, highest volume, which means for any given day, bid as much as you need to, optimizing for the lowest cost, right? So for the lowest bid for conversions available for that day. And as you guys know, or it's pretty self-explanatory. There's not a single day where the behavior of someone using the Facebook platform or Instagram platform is the same. There's not a single day where the number of available purchases is the exact same as the day prior, right? Every day is infinitely unique, and it's going to stand, as you probably experience on your store. You have good days and you have bad days. And when you're running the default bidding strategy, on the bad days, when CPAs, right? So your CPAs are going to look like this over time, right? You're going to have really high highs and really low lows. And you're going to average out, and that's going to be your average CPA, right? And when your CPAs are low, things are really good, right? That's when you have your, 2, 3, 4 ROAS days. When your CPAs are really high, that's when you have your, 0.5x return on ad spend days. And what manual bidding effectively allows you to do is to tell Meta, not to spend your budget on the high days and to only spend your budget on the low days. And believe it or not, this setting, yes, it really does exist, and it's called a cost per result goal, or it's called cost caps. So you can tell Meta, what you want to actually bid. And if Meta can't get you conversions for that bid, then it won't enter the auction because it will know that the total value is not high enough to win the auction based on the bid, and you'll lose that auction, so it won't spend. And Meta is fantastic at predicting this. You have to remember, the best engineers in the world are designing this thing to drive results for advertisers. And Meta's algorithm can predict within the first 100 impressions whether or not you are producing enough total value to win auctions. And what happens is when you're not running cost caps, there are going to be days where you need to bid extremely high, right? So going back to this graph, right? On these days, there are going to be days where your estimated action rates are lower, your optimal user experience is lower, or you have competitors that are producing a much higher estimated action rate and a much higher ad quality and are therefore producing more higher total value. And Meta has to inflate your bid in order to drive you conversions at the lowest cost, highest volume for your daily budget. And that's the key here. Highest cost or highest volume, lowest cost for your daily budget. And so what often happens is, especially if you're a dropshipper, you are entering auctions against legitimate brands where you have to bid so high because your estimated action rates are so low because you often have terrible creative and you often have borrowed content or stolen content that's not yours, and your ad quality is through the roof and your estimated conversion rate sucks. And this is where Meta has to compensate in the bid. And the bid equals money that you are paying out of pocket every time Meta has to inflate that. And then you get these really high CPAs, and then your bank account is very, very sad. And so what cost caps do is they enable us to say, we do not want to bid, or they enable us to, as the name suggests, put a cap on how much we're willing to spend for our bid. And I won't get into the specifics of why I think cost caps are generally not a great fit for actual brands that have multiple sources of traffic, that are driving, or they have a marketing budget spread across multiple platforms. They have a big organic presence. Oftentimes, probably 8 to 9 out of 10 times, I would say running lowest cost is better. But for drop shippers, especially when you think about what drop shipping is and often the circumstances that a drop shipper is entering the business model with, it's often low capital, right? Low capital. And again, they don't have the assets in terms of the store or the ads to be able to compete with brands on the estimated action rates and the ad quality. And so the bid is what we want to manipulate manually inside of Meta to allow us to reduce our downside and protect our budget by saying, if you cannot get conversions for a certain cost, do not spend, right? We're okay with auctions where our total value is lower. We don't want to artificially inflate our bid to enter those auctions and win. We're okay with sitting some of these auctions out. If it means that on days where we don't have to artificially inflate our advertiser bid to compensate for estimated action rates and ad quality, and we can actually get enough total value to win auctions, those are the days that we want to actually be deploying our budget. And so the advertiser bid, when you go into Meta, the way you want to set this up is it's called a cost cap. If I could spell this, so cost cap. First time using the whiteboard. That's terrible. And what that allows us to do, again, is artificially manipulate the advertiser bid so that we never enter auctions, or that Meta will limit, depending on if you're running cost caps or bid caps. But with cost caps, Meta is going to try to get you the cost per result that you set, or the cost target that you set on an average over the attribution window that you're using. So for us, we're using 7-day click, 1-day view. So it's going to try to get you the average cost of the, or your target CPA as the average cost over 7 days. And our strategy in our group is very simple, is we're going to run our campaigns for every product that we test. So let's say we have our campaign here, and our cost cap is going to be set to, or imagine, I think this might be a better way to visualize it. It's like, boom. Okay. This is, bear with me, looking terrible. Let's say this is like lowest volume, right? So this is lowest cost. I mix up those terms so much. This is lowest cost, and this is cost cap, right? So we're going to set, and this is what we teach our students, and what I do exclusively now, is we set our cost cap target to anywhere from 10 to 20%. Wow, Alex Becker, really quick, shout out to that guy, because he makes us look so fucking effortless in his videos. I'm getting carpal tunnel trying to type on this shit. So I'm gonna do this. There we go. So, boom. This is how we are setting our CPA targets. Okay, we are setting our CPA targets 10 to 20% of our break-even point, or below our break-even point. So we're basically telling Meta, do not bid, right? If we go back up here, do not bid, right? So do not bid higher than my break-even point, or 10 to 20% beneath my break-even point, or only get me conversions if you can get them for 10 to 20% below my break-even point. And what this allows you to do is to be able to test a product with confidence, knowing that you don't have the quality creative to produce the estimated click-through rate of a regular brand. Same thing goes with your store and your conversion rate. Same thing goes with ad quality to produce the total value. But you can allow Meta to only enter auctions when it will generate you conversions at 10 to 20% below break-even. And Meta's fantastic at predicting its ability to do so. And just look at one of my campaigns for today, right? So I had a $100 budget on this particular campaign. I spent $27 of it, and I didn't spend any more. And some people would look at this and be like, oh, you only spent like $48, that's a $100 budget. And oh my gosh, you only did like 124 in conversion volume. I'm like, dude, was I profitable? Like, people see all these high revenue numbers and like don't realize dropshippers are making like 5 to 10% off that. You take away merchant fees, payment processing fees, shipping, and you're left with like 2 to 3%. Like, yeah, have fun with that. I'll take this method where I'm making more profit per transaction and not dealing with all the headaches and stress just to make less. And that was the bar. So we set our cost caps to 10 to 20% break even. And every time we test a product, all we want to see, all we're looking to optimize for is, can we actually get conversions? Can we keep our bid? And can we get conversions at break even? If we can't get conversions on a product with break even, you are screwed. Imagine how much you'd have to pay on lowest cost. And you'll see this oftentimes when you're running this strategy with cost caps. You'll see scenarios where you're just not getting any spend, or you'll see scenarios where you're getting very little spend. And if you're setting your cost cap at 10 to 20% below your break even point, and Meta is telling you, I cannot get you conversions at that will cost you slightly below break even. Sometimes we'll even set our caps to break even too if we want to be really aggressive. But if Meta can't get you conversions bidding break even, you don't want to find out what that's going to cost you on lowest cost. And this is the mistake that 99% of dropshippers, myself included up until the last few months, are making. Is we're telling Meta, spend as much as possible, regardless of the outcome. Think about if you had an employee, would you ever tell them, I forget where I heard this, but it's a really good analogy. Do whatever you want with the marketing budget. I don't care how much return you generate me, right? That would be outlandish. That would be crazy. And that's what we're doing as dropshippers. So we use this break-even cap as almost like a litmus test to see if we can get conversions at our break-even point, then this is a product that we know is worth testing. We could probably put more creative into it. We can reduce our caps to get closer to our profit target CPA. We can dump more creative, iterate on the landing page. But if you test a product and after 3 days, you're not getting any spend, Meta refuses to deliver when you tell it to bid at your break-even point, that is a clear sign that you need to move on from the product. Meta is telling you, if you want me to get you conversions at a break-even cost where you will break even on this product, I cannot do it for you. And guess what? Guess what wins when you don't spend on those products? Your bank accounts, excuse the dollar signs. You keep all that money in your pocket and it goes to the next creative test. So instead of spending all the money here, right? Normally you'd, fill up this column or whatever, and all your money goes here and you spend, how often have you spent $100, $200 on a product, you get a 0.5 return on ad spend, right? You're like, wow, I wish I could have found that out in $5 or $10 instead of 200. Well, now you can. So every time you test a product and you're not getting delivery on the cost cap, that means Meta is telling you the quality of your inputs is not good enough to produce a high enough total value to where you can win auctions unless I go beyond your break-even bid or unless you go into the red. And so now, using the strategy, you can completely eliminate that. And again, products that get spent on a break-even cap, those are the ones that you want to go and invest more time into. Or products that are getting spent 10 to 20% below your break-even. Because Meta's telling you, even with all these dog shit inputs, even with ripped content, even with a low quality store, with no organic traffic, there's enough total value here where I can actually get you conversions at a profit. Those are the products you want to invest time into. But ones that can't even get you conversions at break even, move on from them. There's no point. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's kind of a new style of video I'm trying where I really think like just drawing on the whiteboard and sometimes explaining out these concepts as opposed to doing these long drawn out, typed presentation style videos. This one's a little bit more raw, a little bit more on my Alex Becker type shit where I'm just trying to press record and provide value regardless of how shiny the actual thing that I'm presenting is. Because I know for the people that actually watch these videos and implement and take action on them, they're going to get value, whether it's a fucking stick figure drawing or a really nice presentation. There's going to be people that watch this video and actually get value out of it and take action and start changing their life for their business. So that's why you should be using cost caps. Now, again, if you want to get access to my complete Shopify dropshipping masterclass, it shows you how to set all this up, how to find the products. I actually built the store for you, trying to make it as simple as possible, how to create your testing campaign and how to scale in literally just a couple hours and start generating results. If you want access to the community, you also have access to a bunch of free completion gifts if you join the community today. We've got $338 worth of paid software in here, PP Ads, Shop Hunter, $338 value. You get it yours today for free just by joining. And we're going to be having daily Q&A calls. Right now, there's only 2 on the calendar, but by the time you click on the link to actually check the About page for this course, you will see multiple Q&As, so 5 per week. And if you join today, you also get access to a free one-on-one coaching call with myself. So if you want to get access to all that, link is in the description. But otherwise, hope you guys enjoyed this new style of video. More videos. I'm going to be trying to upload. I'm going to commit to upload every single day. And the Road to 100K series is going to be coming back. All right, that's it. For those of you guys that stuck around to the end of this video, which I doubt very few people did, that's it. Catch you in the next one. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.